Hey, friends, let's talk about hell-bent Christians. If you've been indoctrinated all of your life to believe that Christianity is about not going to hell when you die, when you run into someone like me who doesn't believe in eternal conscious torment, then you likely have these or similar questions come to mind. If there's no hell, what's the point of being a Christian? If there's no hell, why did Jesus have to die? Or if there's no hell, what does it mean to be saved? Sound familiar? First of all, I do believe in hell. I just don't believe in eternal conscious torment. For many, in my humble opinion, irrefutable reasons. So hell and eternal conscious torment are very different concepts or realities or non-realities in my understanding. But today's evangelical spirituality centers on the certainty of eternal conscious torment. I don't think I'm overstating this. Don't the questions above demonstrate this? If there's no hell, what's the point of being a Christian? If there's no hell, why did Jesus have to die? Some go so far as to say that people like me, folks who deny eternal conscious torment, are probably going to hell. Yeah, Steve seems to love Jesus and everything, but he doesn't believe in eternal conscious torment. Too bad he's going to hell. He was one of the good ones. I vividly remember being grilled by a man on fire for God about 8 years ago or so. And I truly believe that he would have literally burned me at the stake for denying eternal conscious torment if he legally could have. The wrath of God in his eyes nearly burned a hole in my soul. Seems like for some evangelicals, eternal conscious torment is pretty front and center. Now, in his book, Hell Bent, Brian Recker observes, judging from the way that many Christians talk about Jesus, you'd think Jesus did not need to live at all. He only needed to die. Most Christian denominations teach some version of the idea that Jesus' death was a payment to God for their sins to save us from hell. If hell is at stake, nothing in the life of Jesus could possibly eclipse the importance of the death of Jesus. This is unfortunate, because few people have lived lives as compelling and extraordinary as Jesus's. Few lives could teach us more. And yet, the spirituality of hell will never center on the lessons we learn from the life of Jesus. It will obsessively fixate on his death as a ticket out of hell. Many Christians, feeling they've been secured salvation from hell through the saving death of Jesus, build their entire spirituality around convincing other people to agree with them about how Jesus' death can save them from hell also. For them, spirituality looks like becoming a better witness for Christ, telling your neighbors about Christ, and tithing to your church so they can put on events to reach out to your neighbors for Christ. The point of their Christian lives is to save people from hell by getting everyone to agree with them in their beliefs about Jesus. There is a major problem with this. It doesn't look or feel anything like the spirituality of Jesus. End quote. Now, to be sure, the fiery friend that I referenced a few minutes ago, he was convinced that his hate for me was holy love. And it's precisely this view of God and love that Recker has in mind by the title of his book, Hell-Bent. The concept of eternal conscious torment skews the entirety of one's spirituality. In other words, the smoldering eyes of my friend weren't a threat to my soul, but a window into his. Well, that's all for now. Leave a comment or question and join the conversation.